the coaching carousel, that noise that you heard, has officially screeched to a halt. That was it. The coach carousel has stopped spinning because yesterday, as we were on the air, Mike Macdonald, the 36-year-old defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, is now the Seattle Seahawks head coach. And when the Seahawks surprised a bunch of us by bouncing Pete Carroll the Wednesday after the season, we all thought that's because Dan Quinn is going to go there. That's where he was the defensive coordinator for Super Bowl championship season, and then left to go to Atlanta to be the head coach there. We thought, okay, it's going to be Dan Quinn's job there, and that left only when Macdonald took that job, the Washington Commanders job open, and it was still open, we assume, because Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, surprised a bunch of people saying, I want to stay put. So where would they go? Who are they going to hire? You even opined openly, Chris. Maybe they go Bill Belichick.
Why not?
But they hadn't interviewed him yet. And we're in the point of time where you gotta go. I mean, this is the weekend before the Super Bowl here. The Senior Bowl's happening right now. The East-West Shrine game is tonight on NFL Network. You got to evaluate talent. So now the Washington Commanders have made a move, and it's Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, where he has a stout group. This one, though, however, as we know, got eviscerated by the Green Bay Packers. And here we thought that might make Quinn less interesting of a candidate. And he interviewed a whole bunch of places. And the Commanders decided to say, we're going to go get Dan Quinn. And here are my thoughts on it. Firstly, if you like the guy and you think he's the guy and you've interviewed a whole bunch of other guys and he's the best one, I understand. It also doesn't hurt that he's been to a Super Bowl before. It doesn't hurt that you're also hurting your hated rival within division by taking him away from the defense. There. That's like a plus. That's like a cherry on top. That's a W. Because if Jerry Jones is like, we're going all in, well, now you got to go all in on somebody else who's a defensive coordinator. And as you're seeing, they're not all over the place right now. A bunch of other teams have had to fill that role. And, you know, the Packers, for instance, reached into the college ranks to fill that spot yesterday. So now you're leaving Jerry Jones needing to fill a large hole. And DQ, as he's known in Dallas, the players love him. They dig him. They think the world of him. He is filled with energy. And now you have kneecapped the Dallas Cowboys in that process as well. And we'll see. Because there's two other coaches out there. One was on your staff, and Eric Bieniemy, that has seemingly done everything from the outside in. From the outside in. Wouldn't you want to get somebody who is from the Andy Reid coaching tree? Although the Bears did that once, got one coach of the year season out of Matt Nagy with Mitchell Trubisky, and then that whole thing fell apart. And pretty much nobody else has been rated from that staff until the Commanders said, we'll give you play calling duties for the first time. I guess, you know, Andy Reid, as we know, has his thumb on that scale significantly in Kansas City, and why not? So, okay. From the outside looking in, and then from the inside looking out, you hear he just rubs people the wrong way, and he is a grade A you-know-what. And you even heard that from players this time around, this past year. Remember, Ron Rivera made a whole kerfuffle in the training camp season saying players are coming to complain. And I think the Chiefs even pushed back some players saying, hey, you know, he was great with us here. And then you watched the Chiefs stumble all season long with the little things like staying on sides from the receiver position and catching footballs. And everyone all season long says that's the residual effect of losing Eric Bieniemy there, not being up everybody's orifices? Orify?
Orify, yeah.
Okay.
Just say but.
Oh.
So But the Commanders had him right there and decided, I don't know, will he be the offensive coordinator for Dan Quinn? We'll see. Maybe keep that side of the football the same. We will see. And then there's another one that's out there that the Commanders did not hire.
Mike Vrabel?
I'm going to go Bill Belichick, sir.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go there. I'll see your coach of the year of 2021, and I'll raise you a guy with 8 Lombardi trophies as a coach in the National Football League. This upcoming season is going to be the first season in 50 years in which Bill Belichick is not on a sideline as a head coach or an assistant, because we're assuming he's not going to just take any old role on anybody's staff because he's Bill Belichick. And I guess the Commanders thought, let's go with somebody who can be here longer than whatever you think the amount of road that Belichick as a currently 72-year-old would have, because he'll be 72 by the time the season hits. Okay. And, the optics of taking the guy who lost a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl over the guy who came back from that 28-3 deficit in that Super Bowl certainly isn't going to play very well if things don't work out with Dan Quinn, but you don't make a hire thinking the negative. You don't look at the half-empty glass and say, uh-oh. You don't do that. But I'm just, let's see how it works out. Dan Quinn needs to spend at least 4 years there, successfully 4 years there. Because that's how long you'd think, Belichick would, 4 or 5 year deal, right? If you're changing coaches in 3-4 years, you could have done that with Bill, right?
Yep.
So this is a roll of the dice, even though you're getting a Super Bowl coach, and you're getting a Super Bowl coach who's a very integral assistant in your in-division hated rival, not just any rival. And I don't know. I'd love to hear from Commanders fans. Is this the hire that makes you excited? You're jacked up about it? Like, this is the one? This is the one? Like, that's going to be this is a huge hire. This is the first one of the new administration. And Dan Quinn has a ton of upside and a ton of success in his career. And now we'll see him in Washington. And now Bill Belichick and Vrabel and Pete Carroll and Bieniemy are not head coaches in the NFL this year. Whew. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.